Hello, this is Dr. Do again. This video is outside of medicine. Continue the book of the Iliad by Homer. I'm going to continue to read. The wife of Promachus, Algina's son, will never thrill to her dear husband striding home from the wars that day the sons of Achaea sailed from Troy. And the knees of every Trojan shook with fear, each veteran frantic, glancing left and right, how to escape this sudden plunging death. Sing to me now, you Muses who hold the halls of Olympus, who was the first Achaeans to drag off bloody spoils, as the famous god of earthquakes turned the tide? Telamonian, Ajax first, Ajax brought down Hetius, Greatius' son, a lord of the iron-hearted Machines. Next, Antilochus slaughtered Philauces, Mamurius. Marians killed of Meros, killed Hippotion. Chaucer to cut down Periphetes and Phrothon. Menelaus took the hardened captain Hyperina, gouged his flank, and the bronze ripped him open. Squatting this entrail out, and his life gushing forth through the raw, yawning wound went pulsing fast, and the dark came swirling down across his eyes. But Oileus' son, quick Ajax, killed the most. No one alive could run man down in front like him. Once Zeus whipped enemy ranks in blinding panic wrought. Book 15. The Achaeans' armies at bay. Back through draughting stakes and across the trench they fled, and hordes were cut down at the Argives' band. The rest, only after they reached the chariots, stood fast, blanched with fear, whipped in desperate flight. That moment Zeus awoke on the height of Iliad, stretched out by Hera, queen of the golden throne. He leaped to his feet. He saw the Trojans and Achaeans, one side routed, the other harrying them in panic. Achaeans attacking, and god Poseidon led the way. And Zeus saw Hector sprawled on the battlefield, his comrades kneeling around him as he panted, struggling hard for breath, his sense stunned, vomiting blood. The man who had struck him down was not the weakest Argine. At the sight of Hector, the father of man and God filled with pity now, and shooting a terrible dark glance down at Hera, burst out at her, "What a disaster you create! Uncontrollable Hera, you and your treachery, halting Hector's assault and routing Hector's armies. I would not be surprised, my queen, if you were the first to reap the pernicious whirlwind you have sworn. I whip you stroke on stroke. Don't you recall the time I straw you in mid-air and slung those two massive arveils down from your feet, and lashed both hands with a golden chain you could not break? There in the clouds and high clear sky you dangled, and the mighty god on steep Olympus raged away. Impotent, what could they do to set you free? Standing there, helpless, and any god I'd caught at seas and sent him plunging over the ramparts, heart first till he hit the earth, barely alive. Not even then would the stake grieve for Heracles. Release my breaking heart, my own godlike son. You with the north winds helped, coaxed, and gales to send him scudding over the barren salt sea. You always plotting miseries for my son. You bore him off to the crowded town of Cos. But there I saved him, whisked him away to safety, back to the steady land of Argos. One with torment, I will help you remember. You give up your treacheries. You will see if your warm embrace serve you then. Your bed of lust where you spank me in your arms. Down from the gods you came to waylay me. You seduce me blind. Her eyes wide, Queen Hera shuddered before his thunder, protesting, swearing a flight of winged oaths. Earth, be my witness now. The vaulting sky above and the dark cascading waters of the Styx, I swear by the greatest, the grimest oath that binds the happy gods, by your sacred head, by the bed of our own marriage, that I, at least, would never take in vain, never by will of mine did the god of earthquakes wreak havoc among the Trojan ranks and Hector and surge to help their foes. It must be his own great rage that drives him on. He pitied the sight of Argives pinned against their ships. Not I. Why, I'd be the first to counsel him to take your lead, Zeus, wherever you command, my king of the black cloud. A rousing appeal, and the father of man, the gods, looked down and smiled, and took command with a flight of winged orders. Excellent hero, now if in the years to come you will accord with me, my wide-eyed queen, throne with me in the gods' decisive sessions, then Poseidon, bent as he is to give his own way, must change at once and wrench his will to ours, to yours and mine, united. So then, Hera, if you mean what you say, down to the last word, go back now to the deathless tribe of gods and summon Ares to come before my presence, summon Apollo too, lord of the famous bow. Ares will fly to Achaea's bronze-armed troops and direct the god who shakes the earth to stop, to quit the war and return to his own ocean halls, and let Apollo drive Prince Hector back to battle, breathing power back in his lungs, make him forget the pains that track his heart. Let him whip the Achaeans in headlong panic, mobbed, and roll them back once more. Trembling back on the all-swift ships of Peleus' son Achilles, and he will launch his comrade Penodus into action, and glorious Hector will cut him down with a great spear in front of Troy. Once Patroclus has slaughtered whole battalions of strong young fighting men, and among them all my shining son Sarpedon, but then enraged for Patroclus, brilliant Achilles will bring Prince Hector down, and then from that day on I will turn the tide of war. Back the fighting goes, no stopping it, ever, all the way, till Achaeans' armies seize the beetling heights of Troy through Achaeans' grand design. But till that hour I will never cease my anger, nor will I permit a single immortal god to save the Argive forces, not till Achilles' prayer has been fulfilled. So I vowed at first, I bowed my head in assent. That day the goddess Thetis clutched my knees, begging me to exalt Achilles' scourge of cities. Going to stop here today and continue next time. Thank you for watching.